My phone rang while my wife was laughing. Crystal chandeliers above us, 200 guests below them. Her parents' anniversary banner stretched across the ballroom, like a declaration of legacy. I stepped aside to answer. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," my daughter-in-law shouted through the speaker. She didn't whisper. She wanted witnesses. I looked up. Several guests had turned, my wife included. Her lips curved. Not surprised, not offended. Amused. "I won't be coming," I said calmly. A scoff. Then the line went dead. When I returned to the table, my wife raised her glass. "This is my husband," she told her colleagues. "He's just a simple builder." Laughter scattered around the room. Simple. The word landed heavier than the insult on the phone. I watched her profile, the elegant tilt of her chin, the practiced smile, the faint calculation in her eyes. 6 years. 6 years of being reduced, minimized, rewritten. I smiled back. Because detonations require timing, and mine was already set. The first crack appeared 6 years ago. Not dramatic, just absence. She started guarding her phone, taking calls in other rooms, locking screens that had never been locked before. I told myself it was stress, career pressure, promotion season. Then came the conferences. Always the same city, always 3 days, always exhausting. She returned distant, restless, as if our home were temporary housing. One night, she fell asleep on the couch. Her phone buzzed. A preview lit up the darkness. "Miss you already? Same suite in August?" Suite, not room. My chest tightened, but I didn't move. I memorized the number. The next morning, she kissed my cheek and thanked me for being so supportive. Supportive. I began noticing language. How she introduced me to friends. "He builds things." When someone asked what kind of engineering, she shrugged. "Oh, nothing fancy." Nothing fancy. At family dinners, she corrected my stories mid-sentence. Subtle humiliations. Controlled erosion. I wasn't just betrayed physically. I was being edited, and I let it continue. Because suspicion without proof is emotional noise. I needed structure. Data. Evidence. I needed certainty before collapse. I didn't confront her. I built a case. Phone records first. Shared account. Months of itemized calls. The same number repeating in patterns that aligned perfectly with those conferences. February, August, February, August. I ran the number through a corporate directory database I still had access to from my consulting work. Senior partner at her firm. Married. 2 children. I felt something then. Not rage. Alignment. Like blueprints sliding into place. I accessed archived emails from our shared cloud storage. She had forgotten the backup synced automatically. Travel confirmations. 2 names on the same reservation. I requested hotel invoice copies under a legal pretext, professional. Audit language tends to open doors. Suite bookings. Always a suite. Meanwhile, at home, I remained consistent. I made breakfast. Fixed a leaking faucet. Listened while she described office. Politics. Sometimes mentioning him with carefully neutral tone. I watched her body language when his name surfaced in conversation. Micro-expressions. Tension in her shoulders. Softening around the eyes. 6 years of lies embedded inside casual domestic rituals. And then something else surfaced. Financial transfers I didn't recognize. Small amounts. Regular. To an account not ours. I traced it. A private investment property. Joint ownership. My stomach went cold. She wasn't planning an affair. She was planning an exit. With him. I began preparing quietly. Securing my own inheritance funds she knew nothing about. Transferring assets. Purchasing property abroad. A villa in Switzerland I had once considered retirement fantasy. Now it became insulation. Stability. Because when structures fall, you must already be standing elsewhere. I waited. For the right audience. Her parents' anniversary gave me the stage. 200 guests. Business elites. Extended family. The senior partner and his wife included. She called me simple. Again. Laughter. That was my signal. I stood. "I'm not a simple builder," I said evenly. "I'm a combat engineer." Confusion rippled across faces. "And this," I continued, connecting my phone to the projector behind us, "is a controlled detonation." The first slide appeared. Hotel suite invoice. 2 names. Her color drained instantly. Second slide. Text messages. Counting down the hours. Third slide. 6-year timeline aligned with family milestones. My mother's funeral, our anniversary, our son's graduation. Gasps. Her father lowered his glass slowly. The senior partner's wife stared at the screen as if it were a verdict. "This is a misunderstanding," my wife whispered. I looked at her calmly. "Is it?" Silence swallowed the room. She tried to reach for my hand. I stepped aside. I wasn't exposing her out of fury. I was correcting the narrative. Simple builder. No, strategist. Architect. I let the final slide linger. A property deed. Her name. His name. Joint investment. The room felt smaller. Air thinner. Truth has density. She followed me into the corridor. "You're destroying everything," she hissed, tears forming. "No," I said. "I'm revealing it." Her composure cracked. "You could have handled this privately." 6 years. Privately. I looked at her without anger. "You handled it privately." Inside the ballroom, raised voices erupted. The senior partner's wife was confronting him. Guests were leaving early. Phones were already buzzing. Mine began vibrating. Unknown numbers. Family members. My daughter-in-law. When she finally saw the photos circulating in the family chat, the Swiss villa, the lake view, the property articles mentioning my name, her tone changed. Call after call. 71 missed calls by midnight. The same woman who told me to wash dishes was now sending messages. "We didn't know. Please call. Let's talk about Thanksgiving." I didn't answer. Greed shifts quickly when hierarchy changes. Back inside, my wife stood alone. Makeup streaked. Reputation fractured. "You planned this," she whispered when I returned for my coat. "Yes." She searched my face for anger. There was none. Only completion. Divorce was efficient. Paperwork, signatures, asset division executed with surgical clarity. She attempted reconciliation once. "I made mistakes," she said quietly. "Mistakes are accidental," I replied. 6 years is construction. I relocated to Switzerland 2 months later. The villa overlooks water so still it feels artificial. Mountains reflected without distortion. Every morning I walk the perimeter. I inspect foundations. Stability matters to me. My phone is silent now. No mockery. No invitations disguised as charity. No pitying introductions. They thought simplicity meant weakness. They mistook quiet for ignorance. I build structures. And when necessary, I design their collapse. When the dust settled, her world was rubble. Mine was reinforced concrete. And I no longer need anyone to understand that.